a state court judge here in Henry County. I was elected into office last year. I actually was sworn in November and actually took office on January 1st of 2019. So I've been on the bench now about 9 months. Practiced law for 27 years before I became a state court judge, and I represented, we'll say, the little guy for years. So I've been helping people with their problems for 27 years, and then I actually became a magistrate court judge, or a part-time magistrate court judge, several years ago. And when the chance came along for me to run for office and become a state court judge full-time, I took that opportunity, and so I could keep trying to help people best I can and serve the community, try to keep the community safe, but while at the same time helping folks. Judge Ernest Blunt, who's a state court judge here in Henry County, started the DUI court 10 years ago. And I guess the whole premise behind the DUI court is to try to rehabilitate the offender, the DUI court offender, outside of jail rather than in jail. The statistics show that by putting them in a DUI court program where there's intensive counseling and other therapeutic measures that they're having to go through, their chances of reoffending are much, much lower than if you just put them in jail. So the whole theory behind it is, rather than to jail people into not reoffending, we're actually trying to help them and get to the bottom of their problem, get to the root of the issue, to try to help them learn, number one, that they don't need to be drinking anymore, and number two, that they don't need to be driving and drinking. So that's what the DUI court is all about. It's while we want to keep the community safe, and while the community wants people who have offended to be punished, we're I guess holding them accountable, okay, by making them do certain things other than sit in jail. And like I said, the statistics show that the program works. Over the course of the program, I think the statistic is 92% of all of our graduates do not reoffend or have not reoffended, which to me is remarkable given the fact that in order to get into DUI court, you have to be a defendant who is facing their second DUI in 5 years or third or more in life. So we're talking about mid-range and high-range risk offenders. We're not talking about first-time offenders. We're talking about people who have drinking issues and people who have had more than one DUI in their life. So we feel like that statistic is remarkable, and that's proof that the program actually works.
I just want to say thank you to SAC for working with my employer on a program for me to return back to work. They have several curriculums here. Everything was professional. It was A1. I appreciate the fact that they worked with me to maintain and seal my confidentiality as far as my records are concerned. I'm ready to return back to work. I would suggest that you come to SAC too if you're looking for professional treatment for someone who's in the workforce.